Guys, Gohan's training with the Angel Whis continues, but will Goten be able to activate Angel techniques? Will Goten be able to activate his Ultra Instinct? Well, you will see all of this here with me, but before I start, leave your like. Let's reach the goal of 3,000 likes so I can bring the next episode in the sequence, all of which is done. Come with me. In the 7th universe. Currently in the 7th universe, to be more precise, on an island on planet Earth that is thousands of kilometers from society, it was possible to see Goten in his Super Saiyan God form in a combat stance, while looking at Whis, who did not have his staff in hand and was in a simple combat stance, and as always he had a slight smile on his face as he looked at Goten. Whis said, "Goten, you don't need to try to contain yourself. In fact, don't contain yourself and come with everything. And when I say that, I mean that you come to me with the intention of killing me. If you don't, I will have to increase the intensity of your training as punishment," spoke Whis in a combat stance while looking at Goten, who was relaxed. But upon hearing his master's words, he assumed a more serious and focused posture than before. Goten flexed his legs and advanced towards Whis, leaving the ground where he was broken due to the strength he exerted when advancing against the Angel. The moment he got close enough to Whis, Goten jumped up and in midair tried to land a kick from top to bottom at Whis, but the same deflection was too easy, making Goten's blow hit the ground, which ended up being destroyed, generating a small crater due to the Saiyan's blow. When Goten saw that his first blow was useless, he concentrated his divine ki on his legs and performed a kick towards Whis, and from this kick a wave of ki similar to a blade formed, and it went towards Whis, who was surprised by it. But when he saw the blow coming towards him, he just made a simple jump, dodging the attack that ended up cutting a mountain behind Whis, along with several trees that ended up falling. Whis, seeing this scene, just whistled in surprise at the strength of that attack and how polished it was. Was mastery over Goten's divine ki? Whis quickly had to look forward again, only to be met by Goten's fist, and using his great speed he disappeared and reappeared behind Goten, which made him miss his blow. But at the same instant the young Saiyan managed to turn his body, making his fist go against Whis, but the Angel was faster and defended himself using the palm of his hand. But even so, the shock of Goten's fist with Whis' palm ended up generating an impact wave so strong that everything in the 100-meter radius of them ended up being destroyed, including the ground. Whis held Goten's leg and threw him towards a rock that Goten ended up destroying with his body, but he recovered quickly, and upon seeing the remains of that rock, the young Saiyan kicked its fragments towards Whis, and the Angel, seeing that, destroyed all the rock fragments with ease. But soon after, Whis had to dodge another ki attack fired by Goten, who then advanced towards Whis. When Whis saw the attack coming towards her, she slapped Goten's blow, changing the direction of the Saiyan's blow, who thought quickly and placed his hands on the ground and tried to land a kick at Whis, who let himself be hit. Whis ended up going in towards the heavens. Goten quickly positioned himself and concentrated his energy in his hands, and then ended up using the Kamehameha and firing it towards Whis. Whis, seeing that powerful attack coming in front of him, smiled, seeing that his apprentice took his words seriously enough to go all out against him, but he soon put his thoughts aside and placed his hand in front of his body, receiving the attack from Goten with full force at close range, generating an explosion of smoke. Goten, who was still on the island, was hoping that Whis had at least a scratch, but he soon sighed when he saw the smoke disappearing, revealing Whis without any scratches or dust on his clothes. The only thing that was different was smoke coming out of his hand, of Whis, the hand he used to defend himself from Goten's attack. Whis thought, he is much more powerful than before. Saiyans are beings with a really high potential for evolution. It hasn't even been 6 months since he managed to transform into a Super Saiyan God for the first time, and he is already at that level of power. I don't know if I should applaud the level of evolution or be afraid that he will one day become strong enough to overcome me and my brothers, because he has the potential to overcome the gods of destruction, while that of the angels is still a mystery. Whis thought to himself while analyzing Goten's evolution, which was extremely high by normal standards. Goten sighed and then concentrated and began to raise his power to the maximum, and soon managed to transform into Super Saiyan Blue, and when he did so he advanced with a speed aura against Whis, generating a crater in the place he was previously. Whis, seeing the Saiyan advancing towards him, put himself back into a fighting stance, and this time he advanced towards Goten, who began to attack Whis. Goten was trying his hardest, and as he was angry for appearing to be weak to Whis, his power increased as time went by. Whis decided to attack him, and with that Whis disappeared and reappeared behind Goten, who quickly turned around and kicked at the Angel, but Whis stuck at dodging the blow, and then the Angel got up and put his hand in front of Goten's face, and before he could react he ended up receiving a flick that was so strong that it made Goten throw himself away and faint in the process. because of Whis' strength. Whis ended up sighing when he realized that he used more force than necessary, and there was a good chance that his father, the Daishinkan, would scold him if he discovered that, after all, angels are not allowed to fight anyone, at least not with the intention of hurting them. Goten, after receiving that flick on his forehead, ended up falling into the sea and began to sink. But inside his mind, there were several memories of the times he tried to help his friends and his father, where he was unable to help anyone since he was too weak, and that made Goten very sad and especially angry at his lack of strength, and thanks to this mix of feelings, he ended up waking up. Goten began to increase his power, generating a whirlpool in the sea, and suddenly an explosion of energy ended up happening, and that same energy was directed to the sky, generating a storm, which made Whis confused by it. Whis said, if I remember correctly, humans would call this scene deja vu. Whis said when he felt a similarity with that scene in front of him. Suddenly all the energy that was being released began to gather at a single point, and that point was precisely Goten, who began to absorb all that energy, and after a few seconds all that energy was absorbed by Goten, and Whis just smiled when he felt the amount of energy present in Goten's body. Goten, who appeared to be in his base form at that moment, disappeared and reappeared in front of Whis, trying to hit him with a blow, but Whis easily dodged Goten's blow. But then the young Saiyan turned around and opened his eyes, revealing that they were the same color as his father's eyes when he had incomplete Ultra Instinct, and an aura appeared around Goten, making Whis smile. Whis thought, he managed to activate incomplete Ultra Instinct in a similar way to Goku. It's like humans say, like father, like son. Whis thought, surprised to see Goten using incomplete Ultra Instinct. Whis said, congratulations on being able to activate Ultra Instinct, but you're not ready to keep that power activated yet, so go to sleep, Goten. Spoke Whis before disappearing and reappearing in front of Goten, attacking him with a blow to the stomach. Goten trying to resist, he ended up not being able to stay awake after that attack, so he ended up fainting and falling into Whis' arms, who smiled again at him. But now a more proud and happy smile for Goten. Guys, we finished this story here. Do you like it? Who knows, I can continue this story, right? So leave your like to help the channel, and also subscribe so you don't miss any videos like this one. So see you next time.